Hey, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents. I'm trying not to have two different windows open, so I don't know how that did that, so let's correct it. Well, you know what? I don't mind that at all. I guess that'll work. I can live with that. Luther, see you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, someone has asked us to do a little bit of research today. We're going to do a little bit of research, but there's something that I want to talk with all of you about at the same time. So we're going to actually comment on the case out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, I know that many people have already given their take on that because it was 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, I was just reading headline news flash from ABC News. I have their app on my cell phone, and so it just announces me when there's a headline. I saw the headline. This is it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and the picture that they want you to see is the officers, both officers on the guy, because they want you to believe that the guy did something wrong. Hold on, let's get back to that picture because we ain't finished. Okay, they want you to believe that the officers didn't do anything wrong, but that the guy they have on the ground did something wrong. He must have did something wrong for them to have stopped him. They said the officer thought he was reaching for a gun. Now, I want you all to pay attention. Let me make my screen go up. This is how they claim he was reaching for a gun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if he's reaching for a gun, where is he going to shoot? They got his hands. They got their knee on his back. And somebody needs to tell me, where is he going to shoot? Who is he going to shoot? But that's only part of it. Okay? That's only part of it. Uh-oh. I just clicked on the link. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least he was shot at least 7 times. So somebody explain this to me. As I told you, it's the images that they use in their target practice. But however, the police departments know this. There have been studies about this. Every image that they're shooting at is of a black image. Well, since police officers are always shooting at black images, the image of black in this country is a person of color. Okay? You only have one type of quote-unquote black people. I keep telling people there is no such thing as a black person. But all of the images that they shoot at is a black image. So every black image the police see must be an enemy, must be a criminal. See, this is not the first picture I saw when they showed the footage. The first picture I saw was them with him in front of his car because he had just left the convenience store. If he just left the convenience store, what are you people doing? Okay, but this is not ABC. This is MSN. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because it doesn't make any sense. They say they're not going to prosecute the officers. The officer shot him over 7 times. He did not have a gun. And they say there are no charges for that. You just took a human life. You just got fired from the police department from not following procedure, for not following department policy. Of course the family should be suing them. Their police chief, and I don't care what the color that idiot is, said that he was fired because he didn't follow departmental policy and caused the life of another human being. Okay, sue them for that. Sue the officer for operating outside his job capacity, beyond his job description, beyond the job discretion. Sue them. You got the police chief's own words because he gave a written statement that was written by an attorney. And thank you, Mr. Attorney, thinking that you're smarter than everybody else. Your loophole, if you guys know the family, sue them for that loophole. The police chief said he didn't follow policy, sue him. Don't worry about it. You're not going to take his money. He's part of a union. Why do you think they're not prosecuting? Ladies and gentlemen, the police chief gave some other words. Let's see if we can pull them up in the screen down here. Let's see. Well, hold on. Let's do the search. No, I don't want to put there. I want to see if it puts it there. Okay. I'm looking for this word right here, and I don't think it appears. And so, dagnabbit, I was looking for direction. Okay. I don't care about the officer, but it says that he had left the Triple S food mart where was selling homemade CDs. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if he's selling homemade CDs, what are you doing bothering him? Okay. Oh, look at that. Pay attention. The officers recovered a loaded revolver in Sterling's pocket. As a convicted felon, Sterling could not legally carry a gun. They discovered a loaded revolver? That's interesting. That's interesting. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's do one other thing. I wanted to find where the police chief told the public that they needed to follow the directions of the police. When the police asked them to do something, that they should do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing when the police ask you to do something, you should be asking, am I under arrest? Then no. That's the response. Am I under arrest? Then no. Why do you do that? Well, of course, you know they're going to arrest you now because they're going to claim you are not cooperating. Oh, no, I am cooperating. But if I'm not under arrest, I'm not under any obligation to cooperate. Is there an emergency? You can have a conversation with them, and if they're raising their voice to you in that commanding tone, excuse me, stop raising your voice at me. You don't need to yell at me. I am not disabled. I am not hard of hearing. Again, and me, I literally just fold my arms in front of me and sit back on my car or wherever I'm at or a wall. Am I under arrest? Then no. What do you want? But see, all of you are not like me. You can't have those conversations. Okay? Oh, and by the way, I guess there's a news conference they had regarding the gentleman they shot. Okay? And this is the other news report. How do you shoot this man in his backyard? How do you shoot him that many times? You guys know Stephen Clark's story. Shot 2 weeks ago. Okay. He bled out. Why did he bleed out? Because when they shoot somebody, they don't let no one touch him. They don't let the paramedics go near him. They have to clear the scene first. They have to okay for them to come near. So he bled out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not under arrest, you're not under any obligation to break your neck for the police. Now, I'm not trying to tell people to resist. Oh, heck no. I would not tell you or move your hands below your waist. No, I'm not telling you to do anything like that. Like I said, if it's me, I fold my arms in front of me. And I'm not joking because this has always been me. Then no. Sir, you told me I'm not under arrest. You just touched me. I promise you I will sue you for assault. You may not care, but I promise you I will lien every piece of property you ever thought about owning. And I will not stop coming after you until I get tired. And I don't ever get that tired. This is my conversation. See, you guys are not me, so you can't do what I do. I'm just letting you all know this is what I do. Uh-oh. I did not know that the officers fired 20 times at this young man. I did not know that they fired 20 times at this man. The officer said they fired thinking Clark had a gun. But he was only back there talking on his cell phone. So, of course, the officer is going to claim he had a gun because you heard the officer say, gun, gun, gun. Excuse me? Gun, gun, gun. And you shoot 20 times? Because they're shooting to kill these days, ladies and gentlemen. They shoot for the largest body of mass. I'm not advocating individuals resisting against the police. Better it is that you let them arrest you and take care of it in court. However, when they give comments like the one the police chief gave, saying that you had better cooperate, you should cooperate, you must cooperate because the police gave you a directive. Excuse me, I didn't go through your training. I wasn't trained to listen to your directives. I wasn't part of that meeting. So you guys are expecting me to do something that I'm not required to do. If I'm under arrest, then tell me I'm under arrest. Tell me, before you come over here, tell me what the charge is. And if you can't give me the charge, you better bring a sergeant. I got time. That's me, people. Oh, and by the way, it's my cell phone. I'm recording this whole conversation, y'all. And I'm going to talk on my cell phone. So if y'all got a problem, I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to have a conversation. I'm calling my attorney right now. You ain't got to call your attorney. Just call somebody you know. Let them know what's going on. And if you're claiming I'm under arrest, I have the right to have a sergeant here. Because just because you say I'm under arrest and you don't want to tell me what the charge is, you better give me a charge. Ladies and gentlemen, if they say you're under arrest because you're suspicion of this, suspicion of that. Excuse me? Suspicion of what? Really? So there's an actual report where you have a suspicion of a guy that matches a description. All right, then I demand that, sergeant, especially if you know you don't match anybody's description. If you're black, you're going to be told you matched a lot of descriptions. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can tell you is you're not going to be able to stop it. The police target black images. That's all they do. So it's a mindset. You can't undo the mindset. The mindset is already there. The mindset is already there. They've been trained, military as well as police have been trained to shoot black images. Black is always bad. Black is beautiful. Not when it comes to the police. They shoot black images. Okay? Sorry, military too. It's not their fault. It didn't start out that way, people. Well, technically it did from the mindset of individuals calling individuals of color black. It started there with that, but initially it didn't start out that way, ladies and gentlemen. Initially, it did not start out that way. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, there was a subject that we're going to cover because someone has asked that I look up something. So because they asked, and they did ask with a K, not with an X, they did ask that I look this up. And so we're going to look this up. We're going to type this in, not going to speak it into voice recognition. I'm looking up blue sky laws. Anybody ever heard of blue sky laws? But we got blue sky laws, and then it even said Maryland. See? Blue sky laws. What are the blue sky laws? So what is the blue sky laws? So let's go what are, not what is. It's a preposition used before a pronoun and used after a verb. No, we're not doing all of that, people. All right. But anyway, someone has asked me to look this up, and I told the person, well, I didn't tell them, so I'm going to look it up with all of you. We're going to do two things. We're going to go to Wikipedia, Wikipedia, a blue sky law is a state law in the United States that regulates the offering and sale of securities to protect the public from fraud. Though the specific provision of these laws vary among states, they all require the registration of all security offerings and sales, as well as stockbrokers and bondage firms. Ladies and gentlemen, these blue sky laws will lead you directly to finding out who your securitization trustee is. Blue sky law is a state law of the United States that regulates the offerings and sales of securities protected public from fraud. Though specific laws vary from state to state, they all require the registration of security offerings and sales, as well as stockbrokers and brokers firms. Each state blue sky law is administered by its appropriate regulatory agency and must also provide private causes of action for private investors who have been injured by securities fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, they have a complaint process. Your state regulatory agency that handles securities of your state, your property is a mortgage-backed security. So we got a lot that we're going to be talking about, especially regarding blue sky laws. Okay? So now you guys can get started with, remember, all of your mortgages, that's what you agreed to. You agreed to let your property be traded on the market. Look, I keep explaining, I'll explain it again until you're blue in the face. Because you don't want to be black in the face, then you'll get shot by the police, because if you're black, you get shot by the police. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. No, this happens every day. I'm kidding. Apologize. The police officers do not shoot people because they're black. No, they shoot them because they're black. No, they do not shoot. Police officers do not shoot people because they are black. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Every black person the police come in contact with, they don't shoot. But only gang members. Well, not just gang members. They don't just shoot but they just shoot them. They don't ask no question. They just shoot. Put your hands up. Oh, gun, gun, gun. Pop, 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 pop. Excuse me? You guys must understand. There is no way in the world that even if the person had a gun, that man that they had on the ground, even if he had a gun, pay attention. There was no way he could have injured anybody because they got him on the ground, face nailed to the floor. What's he going to shoot at? He can't even see what he's shooting at. That's the first thing. Hold on. Let's talk about Mr. Stephen Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, it's nighttime. He's in his backyard. And some people come yelling at him in the dark in his backyard. What else is he supposed to do? He doesn't know those ignorant police officers. Do you understand the severity of that situation? How is he supposed to know that they were police officers? He was in his backyard. Nobody expects nobody to be jumping over their back wall talking about, freeze, hold up, put your hands up. Excuse me? You didn't identify yourself as police officers. Go back and listen to the video. Hey guys, I haven't listened to the video. Go back and see if they identified themselves as police officers before they shot this man. No, go ahead. Go back and listen to see if they identified themselves as police officers. It's nighttime. So I would go for the jugular if I was the family. I don't care about the police officer who shot him. I don't care if they were in fear of their lives. I don't give about that. I don't care if they thought that he may have had a gun. Ladies and gentlemen, their policy needs to change. That family needs to sue both on the state level and federal level. Not just violation of civil rights, but for murder. And yes, you sue for murder. They shot him. They didn't identify themselves. I don't care if they were in pursuit of somebody. Yes, they're in pursuit, but that does not give them the right to shoot. But we thought he had a gun. We thought he was a... You thought. You thought enough to take somebody's life, and now you want to go on with your life. Don't allow that, people. Sorry, it's the world we live in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the fact that police officers are trained to shoot black people. I'm not making that up. I didn't say that. As I showed you in the other video, all of the images that they use for target practices are black. Yeah, you saw some photos of a pregnant woman and a little boy who weren't black, but the actual image that they use in target practice when they go to the gun range is black. Sorry. And people have this concept that a person of color is a black person. Again, I'll say it again. You've heard me say this over the years. Since I was a kid, I was telling people this. The asphalt on the ground is black. My shoes are black. What in your mind makes you think that my skin color is likened to that? Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to see me, you would see that my skin is auburn, closer to a reddish brown as opposed to a brown. But you'll see that I am not black. Okay? When I type up papers or when I print up papers, those papers have black and white on it. I don't see any two people on the planet combining together to make something that looks like this piece of paper I got in my hand. You think I'm being too literal, but that's exactly the point. The images the police are shooting at in their practice, in their gun range, is black. They're going to have to change that. That's going to create a big problem. You guys need to understand. The moment they change that, it will have a psychological effect on the officers. That's why they haven't changed it yet. You guys don't understand, and many of you never thought about this, but this is the fact. They've been shooting at those images for that long. Now the police will go out into the environment and they will hesitate. And you know, a police officer can't hesitate because he could lose his life and the life of his partner. Okay, that's the problem you're going to run into. You see, they can't untrain that, but then they can't come up with anything else to help that. So that's the problem. Sorry, it's the conundrum. But until people start bringing this up, until they start pointing this out, and the ones of you who's got family members who've died and you guys are in litigation, you bring up the fact that this is a police environment issue. This is a culture. This is their training. They train them to shoot at black people. Sorry. I know, they're just images, but they are black. Anytime you mention the word black when you're talking about people, you're speaking about people of color. You don't call a Hispanic person a black person. They even refer to themselves as being brown. Sorry, people who are Hispanic, you're tan, you're not brown. Tan and brown may be of the same family, but they ain't the same thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, the images that they are shooting at on a regular basis are blacks. You'll find out that the people who are shot who are unarmed by the police are black. The majority are black. That's never going to change. It is a cultural mindset within the police department. But I want you to talk about blue sky laws. I don't want to talk about the police shooting black people. I want to ignore it. I want to pretend it doesn't exist. Sure, go ahead and ignore the fact that this is a cultural thing. It happens in every state. It happens in every county. It happens in every district. Go ahead. Let's ignore it. Let's let more people die without people understanding the reason why. Yeah, sure. Until it happens to your son, your daughter, your mother, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your mother. Until it happens to someone you know, you're not concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, it bothers me greatly that people are losing their lives. Whether it be to drugs, whether it be to somebody doing a drive-by shooting. Yes, there's crime. But the fact that there's crime doesn't give the police the authority to just shoot to kill. And yes, they've been shooting to kill. Sorry. That's what they've been doing. That doesn't give them the right to do that. So what do? We train our police officers better. We turn them into professionals, real professionals. We stop making it to where they're representing the so-called agency. Remember, they're representing a corporation. They are a corporation themselves. Each police office is a corporation. They're registered. They have a DUNS number. They have an EIN number. They're all corporations, people. And that's what they were going after him because he was selling homemade CDs. What's that got? That's not an arrestable offense. People, he's not selling bootleg CDs. For instance, if he is out there selling a CD that's made by the industry or whatever, guess what? That's a ticket. You show up in court. That's not an arrestable offense because why? Because there is no damage to a person being done. Well, is that the same thing as I sit up there and sell counterfeit money to some people, pass counterfeit money? Ladies and gentlemen, he was selling, as they said, homemade CDs. That is not a reason to be tackling him to the ground. I haven't seen the whole thing, people. I'm letting you know, I'm being honest with you. I haven't watched the whole thing because I can't watch it. Even the thing about Stephon Clark, I can't watch it. My conscience won't let me watch that because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Well, you watch people getting shot on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, real life and television are two different things. And my conscience cannot happen to experience it. I watched 14 people die in 1 year. I can't handle it no more. And these were people that I watched and I saw and I knew personally in 1 year. That had a very, very interesting effect on me. And I have not been the same since. So no, I cannot watch people being shot and killed. I will tell you one other thing. My brother sent me a photo from YouTube, a video from YouTube, sent me the link to it. And I just watched it. He would send me links all the time, so I would click on it, watch it. And one of them was a guy in India or Pakistan. Can't tell you which one. I believe it was India. He got on top of one of the trains there that run off electricity, and he was on top of the train dancing and making a fool out of himself. Somebody was filming him, and he lost his balance and he reached up and he grabbed that wire. You know, that wire that ain't dead, that's live, and it lit him up. Now that was a black man when he finished, and I called my brother up and I told him, don't ever send me nothing like that ever again. And he understood me because I didn't tell him nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't see stuff like that. It lasts and stays with me too long. All right, and we got a lot of that coming very soon, which is why I've been given the opportunity to prepare for the junk that's coming our way. But that's another story for another day. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, go and do the research on your blue sky laws for your state. Trust me, you lost your home already? File a complaint. Okay? File a complaint. Your state security laws and your federal security laws. See, this is the SEC, and then the other one are state laws. So go to the SEC because that's what I want all of you to do. They've been trading your property and you've not received any benefit of that trade, which was the agreement in the first place. Okay, we'll talk about all this later. All right, y'all stay tuned, okay? Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.